Artur Beterbiev and this fight with Deines. Hey man, look, I like Artur Beterbiev, but is age catching up with Artur Beterbiev? That's what I want to talk about because I think he should have beaten Deines a lot more impressively. What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back, Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. Alright, check it out, man. I want to talk about Artur Beterbiev here and this fight he just had with Deines. Now, I did a little post-fight interview, post-fight review on this, but I want to talk about this fight in depth a little more and, pose the question, is age catching up to Artur Beterbiev? Now, people talked about the fact that Artur Beterbiev, was on a layoff. He didn't fight in 2020, or a lot of fighters didn't fight in 2020, namely Deines. And as a matter of fact, he had been out of the ring longer than Artur Beterbiev. But let's talk about this layoff, because you're talking about a layoff of a guy who's considered the best at 175, either Artur Beterbiev or Dmitry Bivol. But Deines is not even in the conversation. That's number one, and that's something that we need to think about. But the level of competition is where now you have a guy who's an elite fighter. I believe that everyone considers Artur Beterbiev to be an elite fighter. No one considers Deines to not even, he may, in some people's eyes, be a B-level fighter, but definitely not on elite status. So I don't want to hear anything about layoff, time being off, because Deines, who hadn't really fought the higher level of competition at all, and who's not considered an elite fighter, was off longer than Artur Beterbiev. Okay, and Artur Beterbiev is considered the best. You're supposed to go in there and put this guy away 6 rounds tops. It took Artur Beterbiev 10 rounds to get Deines out of there. Not only that, he got rocked and hurt in that fight. Artur Beterbiev got hurt, so it showed vulnerability. Deines, who's not the greatest defensive fighter, had Artur Beterbiev missing shots. So it leads you to believe that maybe he's losing a step or two because of aging, man. Aging coupled with inactivity. It's like I was saying about Pavek White in another video, that time, this corona situation with Pavek and the fight being delayed a couple of times. Time's not on these older fighters' side, man. They need to get in there, get it done, and keep it moving. But to be laying off for so long or things like that, and Deines was, again, not a-level opponent or an elite level fighter, and he definitely gave Artur Beterbiev problems. I've said this, with all confidence, with utmost confidence, that Dmitry Bivol wins the fight with Artur Beterbiev. And this is probably why his team are messing around and not trying to have that fight anytime soon. Joe Smith has a good chance to beat Artur Beterbiev. My guy, Ramirez, Gilberto. Ramirez has a good chance to beat Artur Beterbiev, in my opinion. I don't think he beats Bivol, but here's something else. With this fight, and in my opinion, guys, it's showing us a little signs of his aging. That makes the fight with Canelo Alvarez that much more interesting. Now, of course, as a Canelo Alvarez fan, all of you idiots clamoring on for that fight, can it? Canelo Alvarez has business at 168. He had to clean that division out. Then we'll talk about Artur Beterbiev or Dmitry Bivol. Canelo Alvarez never said that he was going to campaign at 175. He just went up there to beat up Sergey Kovalev and earn a belt in another division. However, after he's done with 168, clearly those guys can't beat him. Hopefully he defends against David Benavidez. That would be fantastic. But then what does he do next? Move on and go fight on Artur Beterbiev, Dmitry Bivol, Joe Smith Jr., and these guys at 175. But it just makes the fight that much more interesting, because if he's losing a step or two now, by the time Canelo does get around to him, that could be a loss for Artur Beterbiev if he's still champion by the time Canelo gets around to him, because there's no telling the winner of Vlasov, Joe Smith, Gilberto, Ramirez, Dmitry Bivol. No telling, he gets in the ring with one of those guys, they could take him out, man. They could take him out. I'm not too sure about Vlasov. I think that Artur Beterbiev does him in. Probably I have to pick him over Joe Smith, but Joe Smith's a dangerous guy. Zudo Ramirez as well. But when it comes to Dmitry Bivol and Canelo, I'm just not too sure because, you know, I could be wrong, and I want you guys to put it down in the comment section if I'm not looking at this fight right or something like that. I could be wrong, but it appears to me that Artur Beterbiev is losing a step or two. And when we talk about Dmitry Bivol, Joe Smith in particular, and Canelo Alvarez, that's not a good sign. I think that Artur Beterbiev is still definitely, look, he's definitely the hardest puncher at 175. He's definitely, you know, one or two with Dmitry Bivol, the best guy at 175 at this point in time. But time is not his friend. Time is not his friend. And we'll have to see, you know, what goes with Dmitry Bivol. He did get the stoppage. And even if he didn't get the stoppage, it's not as if he was in any danger of losing that fight. But this is a guy you expect that Artur Beterbiev puts away a lot quicker than 10 rounds. You go 10 rounds with a guy like Deines, and I'm not, you know, again, I don't see him beating Bivol. I see him having problems with a guy like Joe Smith even more so now, even Vlasov and Canelo. That makes that fight that much more interesting. But I just wanted to kind of drop that. Y'all guys give me your thoughts on that. Tell me what you think. Am I off here? Y'all think your boy D-Jeff is going off the rails with this one? Artur Beterbiev might be showing us signs of aging. Am I going off the rails, or do you guys agree with that? Let me know in the comment section. D, you out your mind? Artur Beterbiev is good. No, D, you right. I feel you. I don't know. What y'all think? Let me know. Drop it in the comments. Hit that like, hit that share, and subscribe. Like and share is important, guys. Let's grow this community big. Y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.